I'm here with Vivek. Prabhu, who's one of the presidential candidates for the USC this year, and he's going to answer a few questions for us. How are you doing today, Vivek?
Fantastic, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. All right, so I guess we'll just get started. Why did you decide you wanted to run for president?
So I decided a few months back, probably in October, and the reason why I want to run for president, and I think why our team wants to run for president, is because we believe that students are paying a fee to the USC, and our belief is, even after stats, after the strat plan, after student feedback, it's that there's not enough students are getting benefit for their dollar from the University Students' Council other than the bus pass and other than the wave and the spoke. And what I think we need to do is we need to break out of that. We need to be a forward-thinking council, a forward-thinking organization that really looks at incorporating all students into its plan and really involving them in the process and having a better student experience.
All right. Now, in your platform, what would you say is the point you're most enthusiastic about?
The point that I am definitely enthusiastic about and the one that I'm very passionate about is the grants program. And the grants program, there is one that exists right now, and it's worth around $70,000 to $75,000. But after speaking with students, it's the people who know about this grants program are the people who are most involved. And I think that what we need to do is we need to blow up this grants program. We need to reinvest and reallocate some funds so that it's worth around $100,000. And it's the center of the organization. It is what we do. We empower students to take on their own initiative and to really make a difference and to really enhance their own experience with support from the USC.
Now, on the flip side,
Absolutely.
what point would you say is your least feasible one?
I think in terms of feasibility, it's a good question. I think that all our points are feasible, but there's our advocacy points. And our advocacy points are basically points that we can't guarantee tomorrow if we were to be elected. But what we can say is that we'll be advocating for them 365 days a year while we're in office. And maybe we won't get them all achieved. Maybe we won't be able to do them all in that year, but we can build the foundation for the future. We can honestly say that we tried our best and that we are doing work for students so that maybe they can have a better final exam policy, or they can actually pay for their tuition with credit card, or we can be part of the conversation that looks at tuition in our province and reduces it or makes sure that it's being dealt with in a way that's effective.
Now, who in this race between Ashley and Pat would you say is your biggest competition?
I think right now, and this is like obviously what I'm about to say is like people are kind of thinking like, well, who's he gonna say? I think it's too early to say that, and that's an honest answer. I thought about it a lot, like who is my biggest competition? I don't know. I'm sure they're thinking the exact same thing. Who is the biggest competition with who? And I think that we'll see over the next few days when it comes to the Gazette, when it comes to social media, when it comes to our message and the debates. We'll start seeing who is really resonating with students, and I think it's too early to say that.
Now, moving aside, assuming Dan and Amy weren't there, if you could pick any two celebrities to be on your slate, who would they be and why?
Here we go. Okay. Wow. Celebrities, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Cal Penn. I think he'd be fantastic. VP External, I think he'd be wonderful. He's currently working for Obama, so I guess he's got some chops. For internal, I'm going to very detail, but somebody who's got some punch. I think Pink would be fantastic. Yeah, I'd have a blast.
Good choice. Now, again, if you could be any animal, what would you want to be?
Well, my favorite animals, I'll tell you right now, are turtles and elephants. And I would love to be an elephant. Be fantastic. Honestly, just like they're massive, they have fun, they're cute animals. I think they're big. I think they're cool. So I'd love to be an elephant.
All right. Now, why do you think you would make a better choice for president than Pat or Ashley?
Also a very good question. I think the reason why I'd be a better choice for president is because a lot of it has to do with my experiences, but it's not the experience directly that I'm addressing. It's the fact that I've seen what the USC is from different vantage points. I've been a head soft, I've been a senator, I'm the president of the Huron University College Students' Council, but I've seen what needs to be done and what we need to do to move this organization forward. And I've been a science student first year. I took all those classes. I know what it's like to be frustrated with labs. I get it. And I think that we need to really have students, and we need to have a student leader, we need to have student leaders that are really diverse in their opinion, and ones that are aware of what needs to be done so they can hit the ground running on day one.
Now, your video, And
Yeah.
this was certainly our opinion. I won't go so far as to say it had the least substance, but definitely addressed the least specific platform points. And you
Sure.
were in it for probably a much less amount of time than Ashley was in hers and Pat was in his.
Sure.
What were you going for in your video?
I think the concept of our video, I read the Gazette this morning, it's definitely an interesting take, and we wanted to showcase community. We wanted to showcase the fact that we're bringing people together, and it's an intro video, and we're introducing our video, we're introducing our concept, and I think that yes, I will admit, we didn't specifically address platform points, but we were addressing our philosophy, and our philosophy statements were very clear. And you're going to see that from debate to debate, at our table, at our booth, in our messaging, in our platform. So what I want to challenge students, and I think even ourselves and everyone going forward in this process, is to really take a look at the platform, take a look at what we're saying, and use those philosophies from the video to really kind of hone our message in and really bring it in, and that's what we represent.
Why did you choose Dan and Amy to be on your slate?
Really good question. I guess the Slate process and the kind of the change in the governance structure really made everyone kind of think about what they're doing, right? And scramble and like really figure it out. And I wanted to pick people when I decided I wanted to do this who really resonated with my ideas and whose ideas I resonated with as well. And I think together what we did, I picked Amy because we had a discussion, we talked about what is the future of education? And what is the role of the provincial government? What is the role of the city? What is the role of the federal government in our education? What can we do? What can we do to bring down those barriers? How can students be more involved in the process? And Amy has the experience. And Amy has the mission and the drive to accomplish her goals and to accomplish our goals and to accomplish the goals of students. And with Dan for internal, Dan has a lot of experience when it comes to being a residence don. He is a social science counselor. He's on the campus issue standing committee. He has different bits of experience which really add up, and he's passionate about these issues. And I want people on my slate, and I want people on our team, and students in general, we need to be passionate about issues, but we also need to have experience to make sure that we can deliver as a USC executive. And together as a team, not just as individuals, I think that we will be a fantastic executive if we were to be elected.
And what's been your biggest difficulty so far in this young campaign?
That's kind of, I guess in the first few days you kind of have to assess, okay, what can we do better? How can we deliver more? How can we resonate with students? How can we get our message out there? And I don't know if it's really a difficulty, I think it's just coming up with ways to really raise the level of discourse on this campus, right? And I've talked with past presidential candidates, and it's kind of like you always feel like in the first day, because we're only on day 2, right? That you wonder, okay, are students fully aware of what's going on? Do they know there's an election? I think they're starting to know that. And I think that what we're trying to do in the first few days is to really get the message out there that yes, we're running, and we're running on these issues. And I think that we're successful, but I also think there's a lot more we can do.
All right, well, thanks a lot, Vivek. Vivek Prabhu, presidential candidate for the USC.
Thank you.